Here on the local front, the Ticonderoga storage unit, which we had reported on Friday after the town board meeting and the testimony that took place there, because there was a great deal of testimony. However, over the weekend, the Times of Ty noted an article, or they reported, due to what was announced at the meeting as a task force, which was my language for it. It was not their language, but which is basically a research team that would more or less is designed to research all aspects of battery energy storage systems, to study, as it was put in the article through Jim O'Brien, a quote, to study the good, the bad, and the ugly. Not that there could be a good, and saying that the community will decide the future of BESS in Ticonderoga after the study is complete. The panel will include about 5 different aspects: fire and hazardous material as one, sciences, medical, government, and so I think that's 4. But you get the picture there. My notes were not legible enough for me to see that. I apologize for that. But so on the fire and hazardous material side, you have Jason Parent, Joe Norton, Mike LaValle, and Jim O'Brien serving as that. Remember, Mr. O'Brien himself had 37 years as a hazmat coordinator for Essex County and International Paper. The sciences were Jeremy Torino and Ray Francis, both of whom are either chemistry or biology teachers at Ticonderoga High School, was what Mr. O'Brien reported at the meeting on Thursday. The medical was Laura Best, who is also on the town council, or a matter of public record and transparency there for those who don't know, and Dr. Glenn Chapman also serving as the medical team. The government looks to be Doug McTyler, Mike, I cannot read that. That's what I get for scribbling this. And Tom Jebs, I think that's Powers, Mike Powers. In any case, if I did not read that properly, it is on the Sun's website for those who want the information. And I give that here to speak and for the accuracy of that information and what that is. One of the more, or most, if not the most noteworthy part of that article was that there is a bill in committee down in Albany to extend ORES jurisdiction, that's the Office of Renewable Energy Siting jurisdiction, to include the types of storage projects that are being considered for Ticonderoga. And that it would be Senate bill, and they listed it in the article, S5506 and Assembly Bill A8378, that would give ORES the jurisdiction to include those types of standalone projects because they don't meet the current ORES criteria. So there is no direct ORES involvement right now, but if this bill were to go through, they could step in and steamroll or override any local pushback that is being presented right now. And that, I believe, it could very well play into why the town of Ticonderoga is putting up this panel of experts to study all of this BESS at length. I cannot prove that theory, so that is just one thought that I have had on my own level of thinking about this, that if And that nugget from the Times of Thai seems to confirm my suspicion that the state could get involved and that there could be very much a constitutional crisis if the state is going to override its authority or overstep its authority and tell local governments what to do. That's very much a concern for individual rights here in the United States. That, of course, is nothing new because New York State has been doing this for a long time, and those of us with our eyes open have known that for years. But in any case, that is where that stands, and I, for one, do believe they do not know what they're up against with the people of the North Country, and they will soon find out.